Hey, what's up guys? Tyler here with Secureteam. It's good to be back. We've got a lot of new great videos coming, so be sure to hit that subscribe and share button on your way out. Now today I want to talk to you about the, quote, dwarf planet Ceres. Which is the mysterious body out in the outer reaches of our solar system. It was actually the first asteroid to be discovered, and there's a lot of mystery shrouded around this thing. NASA is completely, and I say this with full conviction and knowingness, that the powers that be do not want us to know something about Ceres. Ceres is hiding something very mysterious and very unique that we haven't seen on too many other planetary bodies in or around our solar system. First of all, some interesting things about Ceres are that it has water plumes that were discovered by NASA, which would indicate that there is likely a large ocean beneath its surface. And if you've done any studying up on Europa, which is a moon of Mars, which is also said to have a very large ocean underneath it, that very likely supports alien life. So not only do we have water plumes coming from Ceres, and the likelihood of a large underground ocean, which is very likely to be rich in alien life, but we also have the famed bright spots on Ceres. Now, some quick info on that. When NASA was first taking still images and footage of Ceres, these shining glints on the surface were noticed. It was picked up, it gained major popularity, and people, rightly so, started asking a lot of questions. NASA has not been able to solve the mystery of the bright spots on Ceres, and as far as we know, have only stated that, well, all that we can tell you is that it is a shiny reflective material, likely sand or glass or ice or water. It's the typical NASA response to anything that is found to be shiny, no matter what planet or moon it's on. But as you can see in these new NASA images here that show a much closer, more high-definition view, we can see finally that this large bright spot is in fact a giant crystalline mound. I mean, this thing is a tower. We have spoken to an architect who has stated that after looking at these images, that this tower here is upwards of 10 miles tall. And this thing is towering above the surface. This is not ice. You can look at this image here. We have a darker image too, which we'll put up right now, which brings out the detail even more. This thing is a tower. It is covered in some sort of highly reflective crystalline material. As a matter of fact, that's not quite true. NASA would have you believe that it's some sort of reflective ice or sand particles. But in fact, this thing is glowing. What you are seeing right now is the glow, the inner glow coming from this thing. It's already been proven that as Ceres rotates into darkness, this thing has been caught on camera glowing, completely out of the reach of the sun. This thing has its own power source that is emitting light from within. And before you say, Tyler, don't start going crazy on us calling this thing some large alien tower. I just want you guys to look back on everything we've posted and the lies we've exposed coming from NASA in the past. And one of the best pieces of evidence that we have that NASA is hiding things is this Apollo 17 moon image right here. Now, this was an overexposed image taken during the moonwalk on Apollo 17. It was a completely whitewashed out image that was said to have gotten hit by direct sunlight and was ruined, hence we didn't see any image. But as technology got better, we had some people increase the exposure, the contrast, and lower the brightness to reveal a massive pyramid in the background, in the image on the moon, as well as a large towering rectangular monolith-shaped object standing behind the pyramid. And that's what you're seeing in this image right here. This is an official NASA picture that they thought would be buried with the thousands of others and simply dismissed as a white image overexposed by the sun and without any detail. So before you say, hey, these moons and these other bodies are completely dead wastelands with nothing on it and NASA has nothing to hide, I can only tell you to look back at images like this where they have been exposed and they have been completely called out for what they are, which are government-controlled liars who have done everything within their grasp to cover up the alien phenomenon and the alien existence within our own solar system and the universe in general. We can see that this thing is not a crater because the sun is shining down from, as we're seeing in the image here, the bottom, well, the upper right portion of the sky. So the sun is shining down from right to left over the top of this thing. You can see at the very top of this large crystalline tower, the bright spot of the sun right here is being hit directly. We can see the shadow where the sun is not reaching this giant tower, the shadow of which is right here on the other side of the tower. I mean, this is common sense. And once again, we can also tell that the sun is shining down from the right because we have other formations here that are being hit by the sun, and we see the corresponding shadows right where they're supposed to be. So there is no doubt that this right here is a large, towering, probably 10-mile-high structure, which has been stated by multiple architects who have looked at this image and said this thing is 5 to 10 miles in height. And what else is interesting is that the structure of this thing branches off in these long, kind of squiggly lined branches, like you would see the roots of a tree, kind of moving off, and we see large shadowed areas underneath. So whatever this thing is, there's a large space underneath it. This thing doesn't just connect directly to the ground. It looks like it's being held up by these large roots that are sort of branching off, digging into the ground, covered in this bright, glowing crystal material. It's not ice, and it's not water. And you can see the shadows underneath this thing. So this thing is towering over, and from looking at this image, there's probably a mile worth, height-wise, of open space underneath this thing. So this thing is standing tall. So we will continue to monitor Ceres. This is an extremely interesting case, and you know what? The more and more NASA comes out with these images, and the more they try to talk and convince us that this is just some reflective material, nothing to look at, the more they put their foot in their mouths, the more ammo they're giving people like us to expose the truth and expose them. So that's what we're going to continue to do. So be sure to hit the like and share and subscribe button on your way out. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook, the links, all of which you can find in the video description. And if you have your own footage or images you'd like to send us and get out, be sure to email us and let us know. You can find all the contact info below, and stay tuned for much, much more. Stay safe, guys.